up, guys? Eli here, back for a new stuff video. Got a pretty special one today. I got a package a couple days or a week ago maybe from one of my viewers named Richard Wolfe. Richard has been watching my channel for quite a while at this point. I don't know how long. Richard, maybe you can chime in and let us know, but a good while. Always enjoy reading his comments. He comments on almost every video that I do, and his comments are always cool. Seems like a really good guy, and I could not appreciate this package more. There's a lot of cool stuff in here, and it's just amazing. So, Richard, thank you so much. Let's take a look. So, yeah, there's quite the stack of goodies in there. There's we got CDs and a cassette tape, and we have some stuff that's even more special because it's things that I have never owned, which are fanzines. This is really cool. This is from his personal collection going back to the very early 90s. So, Richard, you're a better man than I for being able to part with things. I'm such a pack rat. Everything I keep, I just squander it. But yeah, we'll start off with the music, and we're going to start with the cassette tape. We have the debut Impaled Nazarene album, which I have never owned before. This is, Tolkompt Nors on cassette tape. This is the original cassette version that came out on Carnage Records. Carnage was a Polish label that started in 1986 doing licensed releases, but evolved, changed their name, and started releasing original albums instead of just stuff that was already out. So yeah, this is awesome. From 1993, like I said. So they licensed this obviously from Osmos, because Osmos put out all that early Impaled Nazarene stuff. I'm a pretty big Impaled Nazarene fan, but I don't. This is the first thing I have of their earlier material, which is weird. Very nice tape. It's a classic in the black metal genre for sure. Belongs in every black metal fan's collection. Really, really, really punk on this album. This is the most punk sounding they got. I mean, they were basically like a punk black metal band. And then he sent me another album that I've actually really wanted this for a long, long time. I've wanted this probably pushing 20 years. We're talking about a black metal band out of California. They started in 1995. I think they split up around 2016, 17, something like that. We're talking about Draconis with their debut album, Overlords of the Graying Dawn. This came out in 98. I'll pull it out of the sleeve here. This is a promo copy. I don't know, Richard. I don't know if you did album reviews or something back then, or I'm not sure how you got this promo copy. But yeah, like I said, I've wanted this for a long time. The original, the CD cover art is the same cover art, but it's colored. It looks cool either way. This came out on Dark Realm Records. I guess this band is a lot of the time categorized as black death metal, but and sure, that's fine. I just always call them black metal. This is just a really cool debut. They made a comeback in like 2010. They put out one album and just fizzled out. It was one of those bands where it's like, all right, we haven't done anything for a long time. Let's try to make a comeback. Put out an album, and that album maybe didn't do so well, and they're like, let's just throw in the towel. But that 2010 album is pretty good too, to be honest. I don't have it. Well worth seeking out, though. It's got some stuff, as some, not all promo copies of CDs did back then, but a lot of them would come with a little info sheet. So this is from Vincent from Dark Realm Records. Maybe I'll scan this and leave it at the end of the video if you guys want to read the entire thing. It's not a personal note or anything. And another one that's even cooler. This is a lyric sheet. This is actually really awesome. So yeah, if you like the melodic black metal or melodic black death metal, stuff like that, definitely look into Draconis. All their stuff is really good. Like I said, the early stuff's awesome, but the later stuff is actually really, really good too. It's worth your time. And then we have another thing this is kind of funny because I've known about this band a long time, and I've always avoided them, but only recently I've kind of been telling myself, like, I should check that band out. So it's really funny that this would come right around that time. We're talking about a band called Grip Inc. Everyone kind of knows them for having Dave Lombardo. They formed in '93, ended in 2006. Kind of a groove thrash metal band, and that's kind of why I always avoided it because of the groove tag. This is the second album from 1997 called Nemesis. Like I said, everyone knows this for being that band that Dave Lombardo played in, and I'm no different. Came out on Metal Blade Records in 1997. Promo copy, as you can see, Metal Blade Records. And I'll be honest, I haven't listened to this yet, so I can't really talk about it too much. I just thought I'd throw in the funny fact how I, 30 years later decided to check this band out. Still hadn't, and then this showed up, so weird. Possibly my favorite thing from this entire package. Not the most rare by any means, but it's just something I've needed for a long, long time. A lot of you know this. I'm a big Immortal fan. You might know that the only album of theirs I never ever owned was Blizzard Beasts. And so, what do you know? Here's a copy of Blizzard Beasts. Now, I've seen this before. I don't think all the pressings had this. I think this is the original Osmos pressing, and it's got the Immortal logo, like, would you call that embossed? I don't know what you'd call that, but it's textured over the case. Basically, it's going to suck when this breaks someday, so I hope it doesn't. Isn't that badass? A lot of you guys probably knew this. I didn't. This came out in '97. This was the fourth Immortal album. Not my favorite, but I gotta say, the more time I spend with this, the more I do like it. It still sits down at probably the bottom two or three, but the bottom two or three Immortal albums to me are still very good. They're one of my favorite all-time black metal bands. Maybe my favorite. It's hard to say, but I'm a massive fan, and I'm really happy to say that now that the entire discography is in my collection. So awesome. And then we got an album from Clandestine Blaze. I've known this band for a long time. I've listened to them on and off for a long time. Never owned anything. They formed back in '98 in Finland. This is the 11th album from 2021 entitled Secrets of Laceration. Came out on Northern Heritage Records, obviously. This band is really good black metal, but well known for its member Mikko Aspa, of also Deathspell Omega, and of being quite the controversial figure. I think there has been maybe some sketchy lyrics here and there in this band. I know they have a sketchy reputation. I don't mind listening to it. It's really good black metal. Maybe this is just stuff that you're better off not talking about openly. I've listened to this once or twice already, and it's killer black metal. I mean, Clandestine Blaze is one of the better black metal bands that come out over the last 20 years. Controversial opinions or not. And then he sent me a couple of samplers. I might have actually had these back in the day. I can't remember for sure, but it's cool to see them again. And they're sealed, so they're not open. We got the Celtic Frost Monotheist sampler from 2006. What a killer album. I'm a big fan of this album. It says the first two songs on it, Progeny and Ground. Yeah, I'll admit, I didn't love this album when it first came out, but I think it took me years for it to really sink in, for it to grow on me. Honestly, now I think it's phenomenal. I think it's like a 9 out of 10 album for me. I think it's just absolutely killer. And then he sent me this because I am a fan of this band. We have the Insorte Diabli sampler from Dimmu Borgir back in 2007. I have the album. I don't know if I ever had this sampler. So this has, the first two songs, The Serpentine Offering and The Chosen Legacy. You might remember this album came out after the very well-received Death Cult Armageddon. And it was funny because it seemed like this band just kind of burnt out after Death Cult Armageddon. That was a really good album. It did really well for them, sold well. It made them even more popular. They put a ton of work into it. There's so much went into the songwriting and the production of that album. I think they've never been the same band ever since that. So for better or for worse, this came out afterwards, and this was a much more stripped down version of Dimmu Borgir, more straightforward, more riff oriented. There's like a little bit of keyboards in here, not even that much, not that many keyboards. This is probably the more straightforward Dimmu Borgir ever were. I think they were just burnt out on the grandiose, cinematic elements that they used on Death Cult Armageddon. I mean, they used choirs and orchestras and stuff like that, and I don't think they used a choir. They used an orchestra, though, and that album was just so big and bombastic, and this one's a little bit dialed back. They would kind of return to that, the Death Cult sound after this for the next two albums, but they're not that good. And obviously, I'm not gonna read through this. Well, I mean, I read it. I'm not gonna read it on screen, but I've got a letter from Richard. Some random odds and ends here. A relapse postcard actually that they sent to Richard back before this came out. Relapse Records, I guess, sent out postcards at one point for advertising for this EP, which I have, and it's amazing. But yeah, check this out. Well, sorry, I'll cover the address. Sorry, Richard. So a relapse postcard. I did not know that was ever a thing, so that's really cool. This poster, this is fucking awesome. He probably knows, as a lot of you guys do, probably, that I'm a big Venom fan, so he sent me this cast in stone poster, promotional poster, I'm assuming. I don't know if this came with the album. This looks just like I don't think so. I think this is just a promotional poster. I don't have the cast in stone album. I've heard it. It's not bad. I like some later Venom. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an edgelord type Venom fan. Sent me another relapse order catalog they used to send out. On the back, this is really cool. Wilmer's Park presents Nuclear Festival Outdoors. Would have liked to have gone to that. Of course, Deceased were there, because Deceased, God, they used to play everything. Like, you'd have like children's birthday parties, and Deceased would be playing. Order catalog. They used to send these out to everyone upon request. Yeah, a little advertisement card for the War album. I don't know if you guys have heard War. Yeah, it had It from Abruptum. It was kind of a super group, really. It had All of Vondur and Black Moon from Dark Funeral. Dark Funeral and Necrophobic, I believe. Yeah, the album is called Total War. Came out on Necropolis Records. Check it out. If you haven't heard War, killer stuff. Really killer Swedish black metal. Pretty cool death metal band out of Florida. Brutalized fanzine. Cool. Called Moonlight magazine. Issue number 1. So that's badass. Winter 1996, 1997. It's like mostly black metal on the inside. It's in like perfect condition. Richard, how did you keep your stuff? I mean, I keep my stuff pretty good. So this came out after Petrified Zine, which we'll get to that in a little bit. Petrified Zine was a fanzine done by Thorns, the guy that ran Full Moon Productions. So I think I may have heard of this, but I wasn't really too aware of it. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think he did this after he stopped doing Petrified. Swordmaster. Really cool. That's badass. I haven't read through that one yet. So speaking of Petrified Zine, we have issue number 2, Winter of 93. This is a much bigger zine. Not color, though. This is all black and white, but it's really awesome. And it's just got so much in here. I've been going through it and looking up all these, like there's a section that just has demos, talking, basically bands posting about their demos and where people can get a copy of them and stuff. So a lot of these like death metal demos I had never heard of, so I've been looking them up and checking them out. Really, really badass. Again, in flawless condition. I don't know how you did it. Then there's issue 6 of the Grimoire of Exalted Deeds. If you're not familiar with this zine, it was done by Bill Zabub, who's a guy, I don't know, from somewhere over on the East Coast. I always had mixed feelings about the guy. I don't know. I've heard he's an okay guy. He comes across as kind of an asshole to me sometimes. But hey, let's not be too judgmental. I haven't really gone through this one yet either. Don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. Stoked to go through this one as well. Then he sent me issue number 13. Again, I was not familiar with this magazine. Shame on me. This is a magazine out of Norway called Nordic Vision. Full color, really cool metal magazine. I'm going to not show everything on the front. Let's just say there's a nipple there. I've looked through this a little bit. Haven't read through it yet, but you can be sure I will. Chort from the U.S. band Wind of Black Mountains, which was a pretty cool band. I actually have some of their stuff. At a distro called Antichrist Productions, and so we just send this to people. Stapled, just a couple sheets of paper stapled together. It's got a handwritten note on the back from Chort, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, and on the inside he just has a list of stuff that he has in his distro. Guess that pretty cool. I think that's Chort right there. And that's it. Very cool. Thank you, Richard, once again. I think I've had this package. I think I got it like a week ago, something like that. I've just been enjoying the shit out of it. I've started to read through some of those zines. Like I said, especially that Petrified one. I've been going through, and I've already looked up like 20 demos of bands that I did not even know about. Mostly death metal bands, and I found some true gems. Maybe I'll have to go through and share some of that with you guys, because these are like bands some that I've heard of in the past, and some that I just have never heard of, and a lot of them are killer. I've been jamming the tunes. I don't think one day's gone by in that week where I haven't fucked around with some of the stuff in there. So, anyways, Richard, again, thank you so much. I'm gonna have to send you some stuff in return one of these days, and I sent Richard one of my shirts. He won the contest actually, and I was super excited because I'm like, that's awesome. One of my favorite. I don't know what to call you guys, subscribers, commenters. I think that sounds kind of impersonal. Let's just say friends. I think we're all friends here. So, anyways, again, thank you so much, Richard. And Louis says hello. He's over here somewhere. And we'll talk soon, everyone. Thanks for stopping by as always. Cheers.